Did you think in your wildest dreams that Jalen Hurts was going to outplay the great Patrick Mahomes?
I mean, probably not outplaying, but probably play toe to toe with him. Look, the reality is Jalen Hurts have been doing this all year. He got hurt in the meeting in the game against the Bears, and he had a couple games there where his shoulder was not up to par. But I mean, look, what Jalen Hurts did in the Super Bowl is what he's capable of doing, what he's evolving to be. He's not a guy that is going to be a fantastic thrower. But he made some throws in this game. Not so much the AJ Brown. The AJ Brown was more of an AJ Brown adjustment back there against two defenders. He's outstanding with the ball in the air, and he knows how to make those plays. Devonta Smith is an outstanding wide receiver as well, and Dallas Goedert, a great tight end. So he has a complement of three great position players that he can go to. A couple passes in the third quarter to Goddard were outstanding. I mean, very few quarterbacks can do that. So he's not the guy that is going to throw very hard, but he's the guy that he has learned how to play with touch. He has learned how to manage kind of the game and use kind of a third dimension, right? The first dimension is the passing game. The second dimension, the running game. And also his ability to be able to run the ball and his intelligence. I think something people undermine is his intelligence. He has the ability to play the RPO. He has mastered the RPO. And the job both Sirianni as well as Steichen, and now he's with Indianapolis, have done in terms of developing an offense custom to Jalen and to his strength is what you saw in the Super Bowl. And look, we scored 35 points. I mean, if you score 35 points, you need to win a game. So, look, Jalen and the offense did what they needed to do. I thought we were going to be able to be more effective in the run game in the middle. I do believe that the footing and the issue with the turf was it made. Look, I'm not going to make any excuses on the referees or any excuses on the turf. It impacted both of the team, but it impacted the game itself. I thought the inside run was all Eagles based on the fact that the Chiefs were 19th on defense, allowing 4.5 yards per game. They were vulnerable to the middle. You didn't see that many runs from the middle. I mean, every time that a running back got the ball, they're wanting to go outside. Miles Sanders wanted to go outside, and I said, "Look, you need to run through the middle. You got to run north-south versus east-west because that represented an issue." And look, Sanders was not effective in this game.
Yeah, I saw this too, and it looked like the blocking was still pretty good too. And I'm like, where is he cutting to? Boston Scott did it once too, on the right and on the left.
The only person that was running very well was Gainwell.
Yeah,
he was the only one.
Yeah, Gainwell has been doing that. I mean, he basically took over the being the main guy for the running game since the Giants game, and he took it to the 49ers, and he did the same thing at the Super Bowl. Look, unless he wants to come in on a friendly deal, that was probably the last game for Miles Sanders in Philly.
So the other thing that was a big strength of the Eagles this year that was kind of disappeared in this game was their pass rush. I know the Chiefs' offensive line is fantastic, no question that it is, but you barely saw any pressure in this game by the Eagles' front. Are you surprised that they really couldn't get any leverage, both with their run defense, where the Chiefs rushed for 158 yards in the game, and also with their pass rush?
Yeah, I do believe, particularly in the pass rush, not so much on defense. I mean, the run defense has been an issue for this team since the beginning of the year. At some point, we were 22 in the NFL on rushing defense, but I do believe the turf has a significant impact on our pass rush. Our pass rush is significantly better than the pass rush of the Chiefs, and it did not show in this game. And I think the turf, and I'm not trying to make any excuses, it impacted both. But the defensive line of the Eagles, outside of Chris Jones, is better than the defensive line of the Chiefs, and I think the turf had a significant impact. Guys are slipping; they couldn't get good footing, and look, that is key. A guy like Slay, not a Slay, but Sweat, that has done a tremendous job using his speed in the outside, or Hassan Reddick that came to the game with 19 and a half sacks in 19 games. They were very, very limited factors. I mean, I saw Hassan Reddick a couple of times trying to get to Mahomes. And look, Mahomes is the number one quarterback in the NFL in pressures. Every time Mahomes is under pressure, you only can sack him 10% of the time. So he's kind of Houdini back there. But I did believe that our rushing would be a much better job. We would do a much better job pass rushing the Chief, particularly the tackles, and it was nowhere to be found.